Hello, today is July 31st, 2021. Let's start with our disclaimer, go over our calls, and then make our predictions for Monday. It's my trading plan for Monday, August 2, 2021. Remember, I can be completely wrong and all trades should be at your own risk. Please follow the rules of my channel and tell your friends about it. We looked for the pattern with the early high, and that's certainly it. And on Monday, I'm looking for the pattern with the early high as well. Now, here's what we said. We didn't get the usual pattern on Thursday, so I thought we should either gap move to a new all-time high or, it seems much more likely, a straight line drop. So here's the straight line drop. So that worked. So let's see what MEJT had to say during the day. Then we'll come back and try to make a Monday prediction. During the day, we got a sell signal in the afternoon, but the system generates targets, and it can generate higher and lower targets from the same pattern. So the good likelihood of getting this higher target, when it happens to come first, doesn't mean the sell signal isn't going to work, and that worked as well. But it's not telling us anything about Monday. When you get a weakness like this, after this normally positive pattern Thursday, and you get weakness like this, it should be followed by additional weakness, and that hasn't happened yet. So we should trade lower, but that doesn't necessarily tell us the direction of the next move, and that's all I really care about. This is a support area based on a number of different systems. Here's your diamond on stilts. Half a diamond is right here. Here's your stilt. Here's your stilt. You get support under the origin of the left stilt, which is here. So all this is support. This heavy green line is the price of the FOMC announcement, and that's support. And notice that we closed over it. I would notice also we had this big down day, and then we closed over all the lows. Now, of course, what happens at the close isn't what really counts. What happens at Monday's open is what counts. But it's kind of hard to stop a trend on a Friday, and so far at least, it's been stopped. Now, I had been looking for a drop from here. It's also possible to call this an island reversal pattern. Now, the island reversal pattern has a bad reputation. It's supposed to be a very negative pattern. In fact, I think it's an undeserved reputation. It might make a short-term top, but when you have short patterns like this, short in duration, short in magnitude, they tend not to be lasting patterns. There's any number, I don't recall any major trend ending with a pattern like this. Maybe someone else can remember one. There are any number of ways to calculate a target. You can start from the print low on Thursday and go to the high. Then you can go to this low, get a target for the down move around here. It's not the only way to calculate the target. You could use other points, you don't know. But at least you know that you don't have an obligation to go any further than this. Now, this was the count I was using, and I was calling this a descending triangle. And if in fact that's the right count, we should drop right from the open on Monday. Now, the problem with the count is this descending triangle. You really want them all to have a floor which is pretty flat. It doesn't really kill the pattern when you don't. I mean, you'd like them all to be here, but you just can't be confident it's a descending triangle. It could also be an ending diagonal triangle. You've got your A, your B, your C, your D, your E, and the fact that these don't all end at the same point actually is an argument to say that's the right interpretation. If it is an ending diagonal triangle, this count works. It actually has pretty good fibs, and it implies we're going to have one more leg up before the inevitable drop starts. And I think which of these two interpretations, the ending diagonal triangle or the descending triangle, which one's correct, I believe will be pretty obvious by the time we open Monday. It should be either up here or down here someplace. Now Monday's pattern, it has the early high, but we could still gap down. Typically it's a rally day with a final hour high. Failure is a straight line drop. Last Thursday had the same pattern with the straight line drop. Usually that leads to more weakness. We haven't had it yet, so it's still something we have to see at some point. That, the FOMC whipsaw, three-leg pattern, lower MEJT targets all call for lower prices, and I think we'll see them fairly soon. But one more leg up can't be ruled out first. If it happens, I don't think it'll last very long or go too far. If the interpretation of Friday's actions at triangle is correct, and I'm not totally convinced it is, but if it's correct, it should mark the penultimate move, so whatever direction is taken out of it should reverse after the move has completed itself. So Monday's pattern has the early high. Usually it's a rally day, and if there's one more move up, I think once it ends, we're in for a pretty big drop. But if it isn't a rally day, it should be a straight line down. Could be a sizable drop because I think we're going to see these targets at some point. But even if we do see them, I don't think this is the end of the rally. And I think we are going higher at some point. Doesn't tell me anything about Monday though. So the early high, I think it'll be clear from the open which of these two things plays out. And that is today's call.